Hey guys, this is Caden from Line Vision, and this is The Secret Agents of the Force, Book 2, The Holiday Conflict. And yes, I know I'm releasing it a bit late, but keep your hats on. With that being said, here we go. It all started in about the same way as the last adventure. I was reading this weird story, which in fact was the sequel to the book that had brought my classmates and me to the Star Wars galaxy about 3 months ago. It was 10 days until winter break when suddenly something happened that changed everything. "Do you hear something?" Evan asked. "What do you—" said Ian, but then, "Oh, I see what you mean now," he finished. "Something is very, 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 very wrong," said Lynn. "Agreed," said Flo. "I don't hear anything," said Camden, sounding confused. "Guys," I said, "I think it's happening again. Once again, we are being pulled into my library book. Really, I think I should check out the entire series of that book. They are very exciting books, quite literally." "Wait a minute. What about a library book?" Camden asked. "What are you talking about? What happened?" So we told him about what had happened 3 months ago. Then the rest of us heard it too. A sort of swirling wind sound. It was swirling wind. What was going on here? Then the chair Then the chair pod engines from our last adventure attached themselves to our chairs, which turned into chair pods again, and the table turned into a landing pad. Then we burst through the window with a crash, and bright colors and mysterious sounds surrounded us as we zoomed through space. Then there was a bump, and we were on Coruscant again, just like in the last adventure. "Caden, Hooks!" Mascaron shouted at me. "Do you know what is going on here?" "I think so," I said. "One thing's for sure, though. Adventure is just around the corner." Just then, 4 people in dark or brown hooded cloaks, tunics, and vests came out of a tall building with a spirally top, the Jedi Temple, and then walked over to us. "Ah," said one. "It's the Jedi Ancient Children." "Obi-Wan!" we yelled, now recognizing his face through his now growing beard, as he pulled his hood off. "Where's Master Qui-Gon Jinn, and who are these people with you?" we all asked. We said this because the other three's faces were still completely shrouded in their hoods and cloaks. "Mr. Qui-Gon is, well, he's dead," Obi-Wan said solemnly. "He was killed by a Sith Lord about 5 years ago." "Oh," we said in kind. "Hey, wait, 5 years ago?" "Yes," Obi-Wan said, looking confused, but sounding kind of amused at the same time. "It's actually been about 10 years since we last met." "10 years?" we kids yelled again, even more shocked than before. "In our world, it's only been about 3 months." "I guess time goes differently here than in your world," Obi-Wan replied. "At any rate, that would explain why you look relatively the same. And as for your other question, this," he said, pointing to one of the hooded people who was dressed in black instead of cream and brown like Obi-Wan and the other 2 figures with them, "is my young apprentice, Anakin Skywalker, and, as I say, as reckless a 14-year-old Padawan as any Jedi could possibly ask for." "Hey!" said Anakin, pulling his hood off to reveal a boyish, clean-shaven face with keen blue eyes that seemed to look right into us. "I'm not reckless, Master. Not really." "Oh, yes, you are, Anakin," said Obi-Wan, giving him a look that was half stern, half amused. "These other 2, he added, pointing to the other 2 cloaked figures accompanying them, "are a couple friends of mine, and if I recall correctly, you've met each other before. You remember Dora Solano and Tora Sailor, I hope." "At your service," they said, pulling off their hoods. Dora had a neat brown goatee beard on his face, which was just starting to spread over the rest of his face, in conjunction with a similarly neat but spreading mustache. I still like it as clean-shaven as possible, while at the same time I still maintain it. I still feel like the Padawan that I was 10 years ago when we had our first adventure together, Dora said, grinning and winking at Tora. Me too, said Tora, who had no beard because she was a female, but she was even more beautiful than ever, as Twi'lek females are, with her bluish-green skin and braid-like tentacles, called leku, hanging down behind her head. "And who's this with you, may I ask?" asked Obi-Wan, pointing at Miss Guerin. "It isn't Mrs. Brunner, is it?" "No, it isn't," I said. "This is our substitute teacher, Miss Guerin. And this is our new friend, Camden Bop. And they were not prepared for this at all, let me tell you. But then again, neither were the rest of us." "No, we certainly weren't," said Miss Guerin and Camden. "Well, welcome back, my friends," said Obi-Wan. "We're glad to have you back just in time for our next mission. We are going to Hoth to check out a disturbance in the Force that we have all felt. If the Jedi Council grants you permission, would you like to come along?" "Yes," we said, except Miss Guerin, who finally said, "Oh, all right, but only so you're safe and so I don't lose you or get lost without you." "Good," Obi-Wan said. "I shall go and speak with the Jedi Council about it." The Council said yes, we could go. This was going to be fun. Except, I'm sure we all felt something was wrong. What if this was like the trap set on Malastare? Well, at least we could be together again. Whether good or bad, even though Jedi shouldn't crave adventure, this was going to be a really fun one. Meanwhile, Darth Sidious was sitting in an ice cave on Hoth, far enough away from where the Jedi would likely end up, so they could not see him, but not so far away as to let them out of his sight. Just perfect. Absolutely perfect, as it always was. "Come, my friends," he said to his companions, always hooded and cloaked and hooded. A good move on their part. "Let us go over the plan again." "Yes, Lord Sidious," they said, and gathered together so they could discuss their, or rather his, plan for the destruction of the Jedi, the nuisances. Well, all of them except Skywalker, of course, and maybe Kenobi too. They were important. The rest of them, however, could and would die. Yes, indeed they would. In the meantime, we were getting on the Jedi starship on course to Hoth. We kids were very excited, and Miss Guerin was nervous. We Jedi could feel something else in the Force. Evil. It was evil. And the source of it seemed so familiar, said Obi-Wan, as if I had been within its presence before. "Maybe," said Dora. "Do you think those two dark warriors we killed 10 years ago came back to life somehow?" "I don't think it was those two dark warriors we met," said Obi-Wan, frowning and shaking his head. "No, it's more familiar than that. As if I had been near it, but never realized it was coming from that person. I don't know. Maybe it's just the excitement we, he looked at Miss Guerin awkwardly, "almost all of us feel." "Well, whatever it is," said Anakin and Dora, "we can talk about it on the way, can't we?" "I think so too," said Tora, nodding in agreement. "We can certainly meditate on it while we're on the way there, or on the way to Hoth, can't we?" "I suppose so," said Obi-Wan, nodding slowly, not quite agreeing, but rather submitting. "We can certainly meditate on it on the way. Climb aboard, everyone. We must be off soon, especially if we want to find out the source of this disturbance. I'm not thrilled about it, but I will do what the Jedi Council wishes us to do. So climb aboard, my young friends. Here we go." We did. After the ramp had sealed shut, the ship went forward. then gradually went up, and then we shot nose up into the space. As we entered hyperspace, we began to meditate on the disturbance in the force. However, we couldn't figure out. Sorry. However, we couldn't figure out why it seemed so familiar, or even from whom it was emanating. Then we started to try and focus on the mission. And even though the shadow of the dark side was still weighing somewhat heavily on our minds, we could still find focusing on the mission easier than we thought it would. Meanwhile, Darth Sidious was brooding in his ice cave. The Jedi could sense him. Fortunately for him, however, they didn't know it was him, just that it seemed familiar to them. However, even that might lead them to discover him. That wouldn't be good. Not good at all. Well, at least the plan was set, and the Jedi didn't know about it. They felt the disturbance, but they did not see the trap. The fools. It was good enough as long as they didn't poke their noses too much into the matter, which they probably would. All the same, he was almost certain that it would work. All of them, except Skywalker and Master Kenobi, would die, and in the cases of Skywalker and Kenobi, captured on a world in a star system far beyond help from any civilized beings, if any at all. Even such beggars probably wouldn't even have the resources, except by bad bargains with people who probably wouldn't even accept them anyway, to get to Coruscant, even if there wasn't a secret blockade waiting to snatch them or blast them if things didn't go according to plan. Since they probably wouldn't get help, well, they would never live to pester him again. Perfect, he said to himself. Simply perfect. Well, I'm gonna leave you guys there. I don't think I'll be able to go very much further than this. We can go to part 2 some other time, but let me know what you think about that. And new outro. Blind Vision out. Bye. Oh yeah. And God is awesome. He loves you all the time. May the Force be with you. Happy holidays if you're celebrating them late. And yeah, I'm not sure if his name is Electronic Creeper, but it at least used to be. A person that I know at school, Electronic Creeper, another YouTuber, it's his birthday tomorrow, so yeah. Find his channel and wish him happy birthday tomorrow. And yeah. Blind Vision out.